What if the reason you're still broke is because you're doing everything right? All those smart choices, thinking twice before spending, buying what's on sale, treating yourself after a hard day, feel responsible, even mature. But what if those exact habits are the ones holding you back? You're not lazy. You're not dumb, but maybe, just maybe, you've been following advice that's comforting, not effective. In this video, I'll expose 5 innocent habits that secretly drain your bank account and your future without you realizing it. And chances are, you're doing at least 3 of them right now. You see, nobody ever tells you this part. They teach you how to make money, how to save, maybe even how to invest. But almost no one talks about the habits that quietly sabotage you. Even when you're trying to do the right thing, small routines, little behaviors, decisions that feel logical, even harmless. But underneath, they're financial quicksand. You think you're standing still, but you're actually sinking, just slowly enough not to notice. You've probably asked yourself questions like, why does saving feel so hard? How come I never seem to get ahead no matter what I do? Why am I stuck even though I'm trying? These 5 habits won't just answer those questions. They'll change the way you think about money forever, because what's keeping you broke isn't lack of effort. It's unconscious behavior you've never questioned. Until now. Imagine a man standing by a well, using a bucket to carry water to a large barrel behind his house. Every day he works hard. He sweats under the sun. Bucket after bucket he fills the barrel. But every morning when he wakes up, it's empty. Not half full, completely dry. So he tells himself, I'll work harder tomorrow. I need a bigger bucket. Maybe I didn't collect enough. What he never checks is the bottom of the barrel. Because all along, there's a hole he never noticed. A quiet leak dripping away everything he poured in, day after day, year after year. Let's be honest, that man is most of us. We think the answer is more income, more hours, more effort, more hustle. And yes, working harder can help, but not if your financial barrel is leaking from underneath. The worst part? Most people never stop to look, and until you do, you'll just keep trying harder, while falling further behind. Habit 1. The little treat reward loop. You've had a stressful day. You worked hard, dealt with people, hit deadlines, and now you deserve something nice. So you stop for a $6 coffee. Later, you order takeout instead of cooking. Maybe you buy something small online. Nothing crazy, right? You're rewarding yourself. You earned it. But here's what's really happening. You're wiring your brain to treat spending as stress relief. And that becomes dangerous fast. Because it's not about the $6, it's about the automatic reaction. Work hard. Feel tired. Spend a little to feel better. And little feels safe. But little becomes every day. And soon, you've built a cycle. Emotional spending justified as self-care. But self-care that hurts your future? That's not compassion. It's sabotage. Small comforts aren't illegal. But when your version of reward is draining your freedom, it's time to rethink what you're really rewarding. Habit 2. Avoiding your bank account. Let's be honest. When was the last time you actually looked at your bank account without anxiety? Avoiding your balance feels easier, safer, no surprises. You tell yourself, what I don't see can't stress me out. But here's the truth. Avoidance doesn't protect you. It paralyzes you. By not looking, you're not just ignoring numbers. You're avoiding reality. And that gap between what you think is happening and what is happening, that's where the damage piles up. It's like letting a wound fester because you're too afraid to check how bad it is. Every day you delay, the wound grows. This habit tricks you into thinking you're reducing stress when you're actually compounding it long-term. Financial avoidance causes more harm than any single mistake, and until you face it, you can't fix it. Awareness is the first act of financial self-respect. Habit 3. Depending on motivation instead of systems. This month will be different. You say it with hope. You make a mental note. Spend less. Save more. Be disciplined. And for a few days it works. But then, life happens. You're tired, busy, emotionally drained. Motivation fades, and your old habits slide right back in. Here's the truth. Motivation is a feeling. Systems are a structure. Feelings disappear under pressure. Systems withstand it. If your finances depend on how motivated you feel this week, you're setting yourself up to fail again and again. It's like trying to build a house on good intentions. During a storm, you don't need more willpower. You need routines that don't rely on it, saving automatically, spending mindfully, reviewing weekly, not when you feel like it, but because it's part of your system. Freedom comes from design, not from hoping you'll do better next time. Habit 4. The smart spending justification. You didn't waste money. You got a deal, right? It was 40% off. It was a limited time offer. I actually saved money buying it now. We've all said things like this, and it sounds smart, logical even, but here's the harsh truth. Saving money on something you didn't actually need is still spending. A lot of it. You didn't save $40 on a $100 item. You spent $60 on something unnecessary. And we do this all the time, convincing ourselves that it was a win. In reality, it's a trap, one that marketers carefully designed to exploit. And just like that, you exchange long-term freedom for a short-term dopamine hit, wrapped in a sticker that says you saved $40. But deals don't build wealth. Discipline does. When you start questioning the why behind every purchase, not just the price, you begin shifting from consumer to commander. Habit 5, keeping broke company. You're not just shaped by your thoughts, you're shaped by the people around you. If your circle normalizes being broke, if they mock ambition, celebrate spending, and avoid growth at all costs, guess what you'll likely become? We mirror those we feel connected to. And when staying broke becomes a shared identity, breaking out feels like betrayal. Maybe they say things like, money doesn't buy happiness. Rich people are greedy. Enjoy life. You can't take it with you. All loaded with fear, sarcasm, and subtle resignation. It's not about cutting people out of your life. It's about becoming aware of the energy and beliefs you're constantly absorbing. Because if everyone around you is financially drowning, it becomes dangerously easy to believe that sinking is normal. Transformation starts with permission, your own, to choose a new environment, mentally or physically. If you recognized even one of these habits, let me be honest with you. It's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. These behaviors aren't reckless mistakes. They're emotional responses, coping mechanisms. And because they don't feel dangerous in the moment, you never question them. But added up, they become a quiet tragedy. See, most people don't go broke from one huge decision. They go broke from 100 small ones, made without thinking, repeated without noticing, justified without question. It's slow, it's silent, it's believable. And that's what makes it so deadly. Every one of those habits seems manageable. Until one day, you're 5 years older, still stuck, wondering where all your money and time went. That moment of realization hits harder than any bill. It's not the overspending that hurts most. It's the accumulated regret of lost freedom, lost opportunities, and the life you could be living by now. But here's the good news. Awareness is the tipping point, because once you know the pattern, you get to break it, and you don't need to change everything. Just stop pouring effort into a leaking container, seal the cracks, then watch your life change. You don't need a perfect budget. You don't need to cut lattes, live off rice, or become a spreadsheet machine. You just need to choose one leak to seal. Today, pick one habit, one behavior, one lie you've been telling yourself, and call it out. Maybe it's the treat yourself cycle. Maybe it's the emotional spending. Maybe it's the silence around your bank statements. Whatever it is, name it, face it. That's how the shift begins. Financial freedom doesn't come from one grand change. It comes from small, conscious acts, repeated, until they become who you are. Today, you don't have to fix everything, but you do have to stop pretending things will magically get better if you just keep doing the same things. The breakthrough isn't in doing more. It's in finally doing what works. Remember when I asked, what if the reason you're broke is because you're doing everything right? Now you know it's not about being lazy or careless. It's about blind spots, habits that feel safe but are secretly costing you the life you want. But if you made it this far, you're no longer in the dark. So here's what to do next. Comment below which habit hit you the hardest. Subscribe if you're serious about rewiring your money mindset. And watch this next video, because now that you found the leaks, it's time to start building wealth. You've just unlocked the truth about habits that silently keep millions stuck. Most people never realize it until it's way too late. But now you're aware, and that makes you unstoppable. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next insight that could change everything. And don't stop here. Click on the video right next to me. It's the perfect follow-up to help you shift from survival to strategy. Your transformation doesn't end here. It's just beginning.